For 30 years, I gave that boy everything. My youth, my marriage, my dignity, I sacrificed it all so he could have a better life. But the day I told him I'd lost my job, he looked me in the eye and called me a parasite. He had no idea that the fortune sitting in my bank account was about to become his worst nightmare. My name is Patricia Holloway. I'm 58 years old, and until recently I thought I understood what it meant to be a mother. I thought love meant sacrifice. I thought if you gave enough, suffered enough, bled enough for your child, they would eventually see your worth. I was wrong. It was a Tuesday evening when everything shattered. I just returned from the city where I'd been working as a live-in housekeeper for Mrs. Catherine Ashford, a wealthy widow who had become more of a family to me than my own blood. For 8 years I'd lived in her home, cared for her, accompanied her to doctor's appointments, sat with her through lonely nights. She paid me well, $8,000 a month, and I sent most of it home to my son Derek and his wife Vanessa. That Tuesday I walked through the door of the house I'd bought for them, the house that bore their names on the deed, not mine, and found Derek in the living room scrolling through his phone. Vanessa was in the kitchen with her mother Dolores, a retired university administrator who had never quite forgiven her daughter for marrying beneath her. "I quit my job," I said. I hadn't even explained why before Derek's face darkened. "You what?" His voice rose sharp and accusatory. "That was $8 grand a month. What are you going to do now? Just sit around and freeload?" The words hit me like a physical blow. I'd come home to help them. Vanessa had been talking about starting a family, and I thought foolishly it turned out that they might want me there, that I could be useful in a new way. A grandmother, not just a paycheck. Before I could respond, Dolores emerged from the kitchen, wiping her hands on a dish towel. Her eyes swept over me with the familiar disdain she'd always worn like expensive perfume. She quit, just like that, without another job lined up. "I have some savings," I started to say, but Vanessa cut me off with a laugh. "Savings, Mom, please, you've been a housekeeper your whole life. What savings could you possibly have?" I wanted to tell them about Mrs. Ashford. About how, before she died 3 months ago, she'd rewritten her will. About the $8 million she'd left me not as charity but as gratitude for the years I'd given her when her own family couldn't be bothered. About the trust fund that had already cleared probate and was sitting in my name waiting. But something stopped me. Something in their eyes, cold, calculating, already doing the math of how my unemployment would affect their household budget, made me keep silent. Instead, I said, "I thought I could help with the baby when you have one." Vanessa's expression curdled. "Postpartum care requires professional help," she said flatly. "You worked as a domestic. What do you know about infant development?" Dolores jumped in without missing a beat. "Caring for a newborn isn't just diapers and bottles. It's a science. You need actual training. This isn't something amateurs can handle."